All right, welcome back everybody to another About Town, all Loosey Goosey show that we run here. Of course, I've got with me my buddy Russ Horton, Big Daddy Russ Horton, and Leah Lywood is behind the camera over there, the masked crusader. We don't wear a mask because we are in the same bubble, but Leah,
Did you realize that if we said that a year ago, we're in the same bubble, people would look at you strange.
I think I was kind of going to go on that route myself. I was just thinking about it as I said it. So
the same way as when we're in our teens, you know what I mean? If they told you when we were in our teens that smoking weed would be legal and you'd have to wear a mask to go into a bank, you'd think they're out of their minds.
yeah, you'd think that. What movie did you just watch? Like, they think it was some kind of crazy movie. Anyway, like I say, welcome to the program. Like, I'm Lee, Russ, Leah. We're all having fun here. We're brought to you by this week Symposium Cafe. Great place for great dining. 235 Guelph Street. You can give them a call, place your order. They're doing takeout. They're doing takeaway, as some of you might say, at 905-877-2222.
That's a hard number.
Like a tutu,
222.
877-2222. And place your order today. And the food there is just absolutely dynamite. They have excellent food. And I want to say this right off the top of the show. If you mention to them that you heard it here on the show, maybe they'll give you 10% off. You never know.
I think there's a possibility.
I think they could give you 10% off. Gavin, you think you could do that, buddy?
Gavin is a guy that's coming into our bubble.
Our bubble, yes.
Soon,
yes.
with Symposium, with wonderful stuff. We have trivia contests, and when you hear this song, etc. And so we're looking forward to working with Gavin and everybody at the Symposium.
Yeah, definitely, and trying to even get our station played in there. Of course, Halton Hills Online, our major sponsor of the program, I guess you could say at most points. But like I said, if you want to do takeaway, you can go online as well. That's symposiumcafe.com, and you could see their menu and give them a call at 905-877-2222.
All right.
So what's going on, my friend? Good to have you back.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
you missed you last week.
I had a sore foot watching my new smart TV.
Oh yeah,
it was very painful.
Yeah, we kind of thought it was a hooky type thing, but we'll go with the
I saw the
foot.
video. I'm not around, but we've got a permanent sponsor for the news part of the program, and that is Max Tires and Auto Repair, of course, at 905-873-9255.
And it's snow tire season, so people, this is the time to do it. This beautiful weather we're having today on this Friday is a fluke. It's a fluke.
Well, you and I were driving out in Acton the other night, and when you live in Acton, you have to respect an Alberta Clipper. Okay?
Yeah.
Not so much down here, but when you get up there, in where there's nowhere, for anything to go, you can get whiteout conditions in a second.
And it was crazy what we had the other night. We had essentially, I'd say, our first snowfall.
Yeah.
Which, because there was accumulation, it did stick around a little bit. So I would tend to say that was our first snowfall, but the weather we're having right now is just, wow, unprecedented, I think.
I love it.
This is fantastic. We've got a few more days of it. But what do we got going on in the news? I see you got the medical officer is speaking again.
Yes, as of Friday, the main headlines as of right now, Friday, November the 6th, 2020, Dr. Hamadah Magani, who is the medical officer for all of Halton.
Halton region, yeah.
She did a presentation to the Halton District School Board, and she stated in that presentation that 69 schools in Halton have dealt with at least one case of COVID.
Wow.
And she says the big thing is to keep doing what we're doing, stay vigilant, wear your masks, do what you're supposed to do. And here in Halton Hills, we're a small town too. Our numbers are lower, but we do okay here.
Yeah, I think we are. And we knew this going in, that once the schools were going to go back, that we were going to be in this predicament anyway. And those numbers, in my opinion, are actually quite low compared to what I thought was going to happen. Yeah. I thought we would be seeing higher numbers in the schools.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so did I, actually.
I really did.
Really surprised. So hats off to everyone involved in running the schools.
Yeah, because that's going to be challenging, especially when you're talking to the younger children. to have them wearing their masks and social distancing and doing all of that stuff because they're at school to socialize, to be, you know, not just educated but also socialized.
It's
so
a new world we're living in.
it
right?
is, absolutely. I totally
But
agree.
Santa Claus is still a part of that world.
Yes.
And you know where? Santa Claus is still coming to town. Kids, if you're watching right now, come in a little bit closer here to the computer. And I'll tell you, it's the Acton drive-by at the Acton High School on November 21st. Leah, can you check what day that's probably a Saturday. From
would think.
1:30 in the afternoon, isn't it? It's not a Saturday?
I can check it.
But Acton, Santa Claus.
I think
is
it's a
coming.
Monday.
And Monday, well, whatever day it is.
I have an event on the
What's the
19th, which I
date?
think is a Saturday.
November the
so.
21st.
November
Yeah.
21st.
Oh no,
So that
sorry.
would be what day?
I'm thinking of
So
December.
yes, it is a Saturday.
Saturday,
It is, yeah,
November the
sorry.
21st. Big Daddy's got the flashing light to go with this. Saturday, November the 21st, 1:30 till 4. You go see Santa. They're asking you to dress up, guys. Okay, so dress up your cars or your vehicles or whatever you got.
Yeah.
And say hi. And it's the Halton Hills, or it's the Acton
Active
Firefighters.
firefighters. They do it every year. Yeah.
And hats off. And of course, we have another one in Georgetown coming
Yeah.
up as well, over at the Trafalgar Sports Park, with the same thing. And we don't have the date for that one, but that's coming up soon too.
And I hope they're doing it soon too, because like I said, this weather's gonna break and we're gonna get rocked. I just got a funny feeling we're gonna get absolutely rocked all of a sudden.
I think it's going to be a horrible winter this year.
I do want to bring this one up if I could, Big Daddy.
Sure.
Ann and Lloyd McIntyre, and I've worked with Lloyd for many, many years, and Ann for that matter. They're longtime residents of Acton, and they run the town hall, and they also were a big integral part of the town hall being revamped in Acton, which they did an absolutely outstanding job. Have you been in there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's gorgeous inside that town hall. They did just an absolute beautiful, beautiful job. And both these people are named Acton Citizen of the Year, and a well-deserved honor that is for them. They just do, and it's not just the town hall. They just do a lot for the community as a whole. Really, they're just a great couple. And Lloyd's a funny guy. I love Lloyd. So congratulations to Lloyd and Ann. For becoming Acton Citizen of the Year, and we're very, very proud
quite an
proud to
honor,
announce that.
actually.
Absolute great honor, you know, and like I said, very well deserved. This couple does so much in town and for
Speaking of
the
Acton,
people.
Speaking of Acton, I'd like to thank our sponsors for the news on Halton Hills Online Radio, which of course we're a radio station, by the way. Many of you know that now, and our listenership has gone through the roof, by the way. Thank you for that.
Faces for radio.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, I thought we'd go with the gangster look this week for me. Anyway. I mean,
I love that color on you. I love it.
Yeah. It's something to do with a parrot on the back of my shirt, but I've never read it. I just put it on. There's a picture of a parrot on it. But anyway, thanks to Mr. Big and Tall down in Toronto for the shirt.
Yeah.
And well, we won't go into that right now. But anyway, we'd like to say hello to 3 Acton businesses who sponsored our news this week. Sweet Molly's British Shop and Bakery.
All you Brits out there, that's where you got to go. You're looking for the stuff for, yeah, I know.
I got Dandelion and Burdock, which is a pop in England. Everyone drinks. No one knows about it here. But it's kind of like root beer, only not root beer. It's in the middle of Coke and root beer. And a listener, Ken Baker, out there dropped off some at the station for me, and thank you very much for that. And Giant Tiger in Acton, another sponsor this week. And you know, you go in there, everything's at your fingertips. And the Whistle Stop Diner and To Go in downtown Acton. Eggs Benedict there.
Many mornings,
Oh.
Sunday morning because I live a block away from it. So I don't even have to get in the car. I can just stroll down the street and go have myself a very nice breakfast. And they have dynamite coffee there.
Great. The coffee is renowned.
Yeah, and their coffee is actually coming from a local store. For the life of me, I cannot remember the name of it. It is right beside Vinyl Land. And they sell coffee out of there, and it's fresh ground, and it's beautiful, gorgeous coffee.
Have you noticed lately around, there's a lot of loud vehicles? Have you noticed that?
No, it's just your age.
Is it
If
my
it's
age?
too loud, you're too bleeping old.
An operation geared at silencing unnecessary loud vehicles has resulted in over 1,400 charges being laid. Now,
Really?
yeah,
That many?
Exactly. The Halton Regional Police Service has announced that the finish of its 2020 Project #Noisemaker Strategic Enforcement Campaign, and that's hard to say.
What is the abbreviation of that word?
All right, well, the region-wide project started on the 10th of June. We didn't know about it, I guess. Ran until October 31st and was launched in response to complaints from residents about loud and unnecessary noise from vehicles which had been altered by removing mufflers or changing their exhaust systems. But I've noticed lately it's gotten a little quieter than it used to be.
Well, for one, you don't have that. You don't, other than this weather we're getting today, like we say on this Friday, you're not seeing a lot of the Harleys out, the motorcycles out. So you've lost some of that. But I've noticed it's weird because I did want to bring this up too. You and I talked about this a few times now, and I've talked about it with other people that drive from here to Acton on a regular basis that use 4th Line and 17th Side Road. So now that the trucks are not running on that road nearly as much, they have a few, but not hardly any are running on that road. When are they going to bump up that speed limit to 70 kilometers an hour? Because most of the traffic on that road now is personal vehicles. It's
I don't know about you,
vehicles.
but if I had the choice to go from Georgetown to Acton, I'd go that way. Just
It's a nicer route. It's a nice, you don't have to be in the traffic of people, you know,
in and out of
heading up to Erin and Ballinfad and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a nice route to go, but they're not running trucks on that road anymore. So, Town of Halton Hills, that's for you guys. When are you going to bump it from 60 to 70? Because to me, that is nothing but a pure speed trap in there that they've laid in there, and the trucks are no longer using that road. And that was your excuse to reduce it to 60 kilometers an hour, was because the trucks were using that road. So, there you go, Town of Halton Hills.
All right, local sports teams will soon be able to hold games and scrimmages again. Isn't that a good story? November 4th, Halton Medical Officer, again, Hamadah Magani. She's a busy lady.
She's been working hard, I think. Yes, very.
Mentioned her previous recommendations, including one, that team sports be restricted to training only and be replaced by new provincial framework, which is set to happen on the 7th of November, which is this Saturday, tomorrow. And the regulations as they stand right now would not restrict games and scrimmages for Halton. So,
it's a tough one. You and I talked about it this week about the OJHL and no contact.
I'd love to have them back, but they're kids, man. Don't put them in that position.
You're putting these young men in a position all for what? What? Because there's money involved and you have to obligated contracts and stuff like that. But for one, you want to pull contact out of the game, and the fans. To me, you've taken two major elements out of the game. Then what's going to make it entertaining? Who's going to watch it?
With the OHL, I mean, I'm a Guelph Storm fan.
Absolutely.
I've been all my life, but they're kids, for God's sakes. Why? Non-contact, or what is it?
Yeah, non-contact.
Non-contact is not hockey. Don't play.
Yeah.
You're insulting our game, for God's sakes.
Exactly.
Let the kids stay home and be safe. They're not in a bubble. These teams, you think, the Guelph Storm,
they don't
the
have
Windsor
money.
Spitfires, they're big names, they're great, they look the kids, I mean, it's showbiz, but they're not rich, they're not NHL teams, people. Yeah. They go on buses, for God's sakes, not planes. And they're not put in bubble situations like the pros in the NHL or the NBA or the NFL or whatever they do with a bubble situation. It's been working so far.
And even that,
you can't do it with the OHL.
We didn't have it so much in the NHL because I think the way they tightly knit that bubble. But you look at the NFL right now, even Major League Baseball just before the World Series ended. You had players testing positive. You had coaches. You had trainers. You had all kinds of people testing positive. So even at that larger scale, you're getting positive tests. So what's going to say that the OJHL could actually make it work? I don't think they can. I agree with you 100% that don't do it. You're putting the kids at risk. These are young men that you're putting at risk that could be going back and forth to school and trying to get their education at the same time. So is it worth that risk? I don't think so.
Not for the kids, because, these are kids. You can't underline that more. Health is more important than a hockey game.
Yeah.
And I love hockey. I'm just Canadian.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, I agree with you.
Did you know, by the way, and I've been checking out on Facebook, lately, the Halton Hills to Town page. A lot of really good current information on there.
They're pretty up to date from what I've seen, yeah.
And did you know that you could subscribe to all sorts of Halton Hills news on the town website as well, of course, and visit their subscription page, check out all of their subscription options, including the mayor's messages, news, e-letters, and more. And it's you go there, you see what's happening that day. I post it on the news as well. I read it on the news. It's very helpful to know the different things that are going on.
It's a plethora of information.
A plethora. I had no idea until we started the radio station of how hard the town works to keep in contact with people.
Well, the other cool thing about that too, Big Daddy, is that you know, places like IFP, even our page for that matter, it's hard to post everything that's going on in the town of Halton Hills. So if you can go directly to the source, then you're going to get all the information that's going on in the town, even the smaller stories that don't tend to hit the, you know, media sites and stuff like that. And then you at least know what's going on in the area. And speaking of that, I want to step into this for just a quick moment. A local fellow, it's been weird for Big Daddy and I. We've had a lot of friends be in hospital and sick, and it's been like crazy what's been going on lately. And we've talked about it a few times at night when we sit down and have our meetings. But a good friend of mine from Final Order Riding Group, which is a local riding club here in town, a lot of members that are guys here in town, and they're just a fantastic bunch of people. I've been fortunate enough to be their DJ at a lot of their parties for the last few years. Their president, Mark Gagne, was in a very serious motorcycle accident a week ago. He's in St. Mike's Hospital in serious but stable condition. Mark has been a pillar of this community when it comes to fundraising. He does a lot of fundraising for a lot of people in this community, and now it's time for us to give back. You know, it's Leslie and the kids. Our hearts go out to you guys. He's doing okay, but he's got a long recovery ahead of him, and our hearts and thoughts are going out with the family. There is a GoFundMe page that will be started up. We will put a link on our Facebook page for that. It's going to be a long road for them, and so just keep an eye out for that link. And if you get $10, donate, man, because long road.
Even $5, anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. Even some time. Who knows if that's the case? You know, we could be looking at that situation too. But like I said, Mark has done a ton in this community, and we're all behind you.
All right, we certainly are. Ontario's Carbon Monoxide Awareness Week. It wraps up the board, but doesn't.
Yeah, I was just going to say
it doesn't mean to say that you don't, don't deal with the problem. Please do, and that comes from the Halton Hills Fire Department.
Well, along with your smoke detectors,
That's right.
do your carbon monoxide as well.
And a reminder as well to support the food banks. We're heading into Christmas time now.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not Remembrance Day yet, we know, but it is heading into the holiday season. They're very low on supplies.
Well, especially right now with
Yeah.
everything that's been going on with COVID, they're really being put to the test.
Pretty much, I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting that too. Actually, yeah, because
We're living in times we've never lived through before.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tough
So yeah,
times for some
our local food banks, because we got Acton Food Share, and we've got
The bread basket.
bread basket here in
Food for
Georgetown.
life.
Exactly. And Light Up the Hills as well is another one. Please make your donations because they really do help bring us up.
I hope so. Because they must not have got many donations in because of that one little
But the
tree.
three lights in Acton.
The
Can we
three
do something about that,
three
guys?
strings of lights in
I mean, we've
Acton.
got a beautiful. Full
We
tree
need
in
more
Georgetown.
donations. Send them more money so they can put more lights on that tree.
Or just come to Georgetown and see ours.
Good sakes, what happened to our tree there, Patty? we got three Christmas lights hanging from that tree.
So I had to bring that one up.
Yeah.
We hadn't discussed this whether we were going to
We're
talk
halfway
about
through doing it. I don't know, or not even half.
it.
Anyway,
So donate to the lights because we need more on the active trees. So yeah, unfortunately, but like I said, it's that time of the year. We do want to bring up Remembrance Day. Did you see that in the news today? A chain of stores in Toronto, Whole Foods, was telling their employees they cannot wear a poppy.
Oh.
Give your head a shake, people. Why we don't have November 11th as a national holiday? We have February 12th, which is Family Day, but we don't have a Remembrance Day holiday for these people. Is beyond me. And then these guys go and do this.
Premier Ford actually did one of his updates today. He's actually
trying to
how
put
discouraged he is by it all, that he can't believe.
Oh yeah, he's got to be just peaking right now.
Oh, he's not happy.
Oh god, yeah. But regardless, anyway, we want to bring up Remembrance Day. It is a very important day here in Canada, and we don't want people to forget, because with COVID, we're going to see those poppy numbers kind of go down a little bit. You're not going to see it as much because we can't go to the cenotaph. The town of Halton Hills has said this year there will be no ceremony at cenotaph. So we can't forget that. We got to remember that November 11th is a day to remember. Really. Yeah. Sorry, I went on a rant.
No, that's all right. You're allowed to rant.
That was a good rant.
It's half your show.
That was a good rant. I'm on board with that one,
show.
though,
Sorry,
for sure.
1/3.
For
Of course,
sure.
Leah is back there with her mask on. And Halton Hills Public Library celebrating the life and times of Henry Thomas Shepherd in a new online exhibit. And Shepherd's life and accomplishments are highlighted through pictures and text, transcripts, and audio from his war service and awards to careers in both Flex Paper Mill and Georgetown Fire Department, where he was the chief, of course.
Oh, wow.
And it's been a journey of love and years of gathering pictures from each branch of our family. I've had lots of help and encouragement along the way. Mentioned Kathy Brooks, who is Shepherd's granddaughter. So we're celebrating Henry Thomas Shepherd.
And where are they doing that?
At the Halton Hills Public Library.
Oh, perfect.
And so you can link in there. And a new trail for...
It's like we don't have enough.
We do have some beautiful trails.
We do. Gorgeous trails.
A new trail expanding the Hungry Hollow Trail Network from Maple Creek Parkette up off of Gooderham there, which is in Georgetown South.
Right.
And it links it up with everything. It's brand new.
Oh,
There's
that's cool.
pictures on at the Halton Hills website.
I think that was kind of what that roundabout and the whole water system that they put in there that connect all that. I think that's kind of what that was all about. That's cool. That's great, because especially in these times, people are looking for things to do that you can still socially distance. Going and hiking and doing some of the trail stuff is the way to go, I think, right now. And right now, for the next few days, take advantage of it.
And by the way, Donald Trump is not joining us next week as a new member.
Yeah.
He did apply.
Yeah. he failed the.
We didn't think he came up to.
Up to par. Yes. So, and that's a whole interesting
if you want to get reaction on Facebook now,
Oh, you better be careful though. You may be on his legal list.
I know.
Oh yeah. Well, this is it.
It's
All of a sudden,
humor,
Donald,
folks.
I gotta get a letter in the mail that Donald's suing me or something because I said something about him on air. But
I'll say something about Biden too. That'll get me in trouble. Humor is humor, folks. Don't take things so seriously.
And to me, down there, it's just going to be such an interesting scenario going on over the next few days. And like I said to you, it's going to be Friday today or tomorrow before we really hear what's going on. Like, I know it's close and there's tight and there's.
I know why. It's because of COVID, because of the numbers are so. But
they did a mail-in ballot.
I'm sick of watching these guys pointing at maps.
They call it
maps. What does that mean? 6
minutes.
Oh, does that mean 6 minutes left?
That would be what it's worth.
See, I'm just showing people this is not CTV news.
Oh God, no.
This is local stuff. But we do have.
The funny part is we
very
actually
experienced
discussed this before we started recording, and Russ just forgot. So
Exactly.
That's why I'm over here.
Oh, I took that one well, didn't I?
yes, you did.
Unless you've been on Mars, you'll realize Ontario Premier Doug Ford Tuesday announced huge changes on how Ontario is measuring things. Now we're color coded.
Oh, the color coding.
Now
right?
we're yellow,
Yes.
which is, they all got very confusing. I think this is a little bit, okay, we're yellow now.
I wonder if this is all just another ploy of some kind or whatever. I don't know. Because if you look at what happened in March, it came out, we had to wash our hands and wear gloves. Then we had to go from gloves to masks. The gloves disappeared, all of a sudden you're not seeing that anymore. We've gone to masks. Now we've gone to triple masks. They want you on a triple layer mask. They don't know, people. They don't have a clue what's going on. So please don't read everything into the news that you're reading into it.
Oh, by the way, the numbers.
Wash your hands, be safe, and distance yourself. Wear your mask when you're in the store. Be smart about it. Just don't. Everybody's getting so panic struck by what's going on in the news today that
And everybody's looking at numbers. And, and like I'm constantly messaged on social media. Russ, what are the numbers today? What are the numbers? Okay, and people are looking at different numbers. They're looking at the Ontario numbers, and they're looking at the Halton numbers, and they're different because of this. And this was asked by what's her name again here? I don't think it has her name. Oh yes, Janet Hanlon. She asked the Independent to look into it, our newspaper, to look into the different, and the reason is that the Independent discovered that Halton includes probable COVID cases when it reports daily numbers, while the province only includes confirmed ones.
Exactly.
That is the difference. So,
and the testing's being done differently from day to day as well. All of a sudden they're doing 10,000 tests one day. The next day they're only doing 1,100. So this is it, people. Some of these numbers that we're getting are old numbers. So, it's...
I guess we're wrapping her up, are we?
Yeah, we're pretty much done.
Can we say hello to some of the Georgetown? Oh, we got 4 minutes left.
Three? Oh, there we go.
3.
So
now in England, you know what that means, don't you? That means 2 in England.
No, I don't.
I like to think of it as
you
peace.
went right off the rails there.
Yes, you got
That's
to
a peace.
turn it around for peace, and that's.
But I do want to say this before we do go and start to wrap things up. Is my concern is because you have a place like Peel, and they're talking about Brampton in specific, that is going to go back to a stage 2 system. But the problem is we live on that border of that city, and when they're frustrated over there, they're coming here to shop, and they are. If you take percentage numbers and do the math, Peel, Brampton has more numbers than anybody else when you do per capita.
Well, that's what they're saying right now. Ford did that today, and he said Peel, specifically Brampton. Right
Exactly.
now, because he said if they don't get it under control soon, it's way out there right now. It's going crazy.
It's gone crazy there.
Yeah.
And like I said, how do we prevent them from coming here? Not that I want them, and it's not a discriminatory thing. It is a health thing. And they go to their Walmart there and there's a big lineup. So then they come here because there's not a lineup. And it happens every single day here. So how do you police that? And that's where it becomes a challenge for everybody. And
I'm so happy that Mary Brown's is here.
Yes, Mary Brown's is open.
Do you realize that your post on Halton Hill social media Facebook group of that picture of the lineup?
I know.
The drive-through lineup is around the corner.
Hear this.
1.5K.
My granddaughter, they just opened
That's
Wednesday.
how much reach we have, folks.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's your show too.
My granddaughter works there, so of course she's been there for the last week. They ran out, I think she said at 5:30 of chicken. It was insane. And while they were doing training the last 2 or 3 days, people were walking in, because the doors are open, they're all sitting in their training.
Right.
And people are walking out and saying, no, not yet. Like people were trying to get in all week.
Got some great food places.
I got a funny feeling that, I go by there later on, we're going to see another lineup again we did yesterday.
You
The
and
new
I
KFC.
will be going in there.
And we do have some great food places here. And of course, we want to thank our good friends from Symposium Cafe. They're at 235 Guelph Street. They're in where the dollar store is in Food Basics. They're doing takeaway as well, so 905-877-2222. And you can check out their website at symposiumcafe.com and get their menu and everything and do your ordering and whatnot. The food there is delicioso.
And we'd like to thank the Georgetown businesses that sponsored our newscast on Halton Hills Online all week long. Floor Diva Flooring, which is on Guelph Street there. And, of course, Mary Brown's was one of our sponsors this week. Ancient Way Massage Therapy in downtown Georgetown. Salon Marcel, one of my favorite guys. Always going to smile with Marcel.
Yeah, he got the front of the store fixed too, so that's good.
He's my hairdresser, my buddy.
Poor bugger, isn't he? Yeah, and Grind Hamburgers, which is
right by the Pickle Piper there.
Exactly. If you have one of their burgers, you better be ready to take a nap. It's good food.
And of course, I want to remind everybody, snow season is upon us. Get your snow tires changed.
Max Tires.
Our good friends at Max Tires and Auto Repair. But book your appointment because it's going to get busy there. You're going to want to call and book your appointment.
61 Guelph Street, 905-873-9255. And if you get stuck on this side of the road,
Gotta call Fred.
do it the way you do it.
You gotta call Fred's.
There you go.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. For Big Daddy Russ Horton, Leah Lywood, myself, Lee Lakin. We've had a great week. A ton of stuff to talk about this week, so that was fantastic. And tune in next week. We'll see you again next Friday.
Have a fab weekend.
And listen to the radio station.